Hi friends, welcome to my channel Simple Learning Tip. So in today's video, we'll be discussing in continuation with my previous video, that is evolution of management studies, and I have covered first part of this video in another of this topic in another video. Please do check out that. I'll leave the link in the description box as well as in the iCard as well. Please check out that so that you can have better understanding of this topic. So in today's video, I'll be covering Hawthorne studies, which was developed by Elton Mayo, and contingency theory, system theory, process theory. Okay. So before moving further, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get more videos like this. Okay. So let's move on to first topic, that is Hawthorne studies. Now, Hawthorne studies were conducted by Elton Mayo, and he chose Western Electric Company for that in Chicago. Okay, so these studies or these experiments were conducted in Western Electric by Elton Mayo. Now, see, we are talking about the era where industrial revolution was going on, and slowly these management thoughts were developing. Okay, so if you hear all these concepts now, you might be thinking that, okay, this is all very practical thing and it is like applicable everywhere. But you have to imagine that it was during that time, during that age, where, workers were considered only as, a machine. Okay, they were not given that much importance like today. What I mean to say is that, incentive schemes were later introduced after scientific management. So it was like laborers were treated like, okay, you have to work hard, and whatever work you do or whatever output you produce, that does not matter. You will get only this kind of wage. Okay, and importance were not that much given to, their relationship, human behavior relationships and group norms. Nothing were given that much importance. For them, results, output was the important thing. So that is why these studies are very important. Because of these studies only, they came to know, okay, there is a relationship between productivity and job satisfaction, and also there are so many other factors like human relationship, group relationship, recognition. All these things came to know through these experiments. Okay, so first experiment that was, so there were basically 4 experiments which were conducted. First one is illumination experiment. So like the word suggests, this experiment was conducted to understand the relationship between output and the intensity of the light. Okay, so for that what they did was, first they increased the intensity of the light, so then productivity increased. Then they decreased it and brought to normal light, so productivity was increased only. So they understood that there is no consistent relationship between intensity of light and productivity or the outputs that they were producing. Okay, just understand it as a story. Don't give it too much of thought into it. Okay, understand it as a story. First one, illumination, which I have explained. So next, let's move on to relay assembly test rule. Now, in this experiment, a group was formed of 6 girls. Okay, and these girls were friendly towards each other, and they were kind of close to each other. And they were asked to work in a very informal work environment. And it was under the supervision of a researcher. Okay, so what happened is that their productivity increased. Okay, and their morale increased, and these girls were friendly to each other. So they understood that, apart from only physical working conditions, there are certain other factors which contributed to the output. Okay, so in this experiment, they also gave some kind of rest intervals. So when when frequent breaks were given, the girls told that that actually decreased the rhythm of the work. Okay, so they were given proper work rest hours, and also even though their working hours ended at 5 o'clock, they were asked to leave home by 4:34. So when all these lot of changes were being done, okay, and these were all under the supervision of a researcher. So what happened is that at the end, before they verified before that productivity before that and after, they found out that the output increased and the morale of the workers increased like anything. Okay, so after this experiment, they understood that there are factors like working hours, okay, length of working hours, and rest hours. Then physical working condition is important, recognition is important, group bonding is important, and all these things, it contributes to higher productivity. Okay, so that is what really simulator. Next one, mass interviewing program. Now, in this, interviews were conducted. Okay, workers were interviewed in this. Now, first interview was conducted in a direct form. That is, they were asking directly questions to them about the working conditions, physical working conditions, about the supervisor. So, definitely, workers were a little bit reluctant to answer. Then, informal questions were conducted, in the sense the researcher only listened to the workers rather than asking a direct questions at them. They were asked to share their problems, and the person who was questioning them were only listening. Okay, so this experiment helped to understand the importance of social factors at workplace. Okay, now the last one, bank hiring test room experiment. Now in this, 14 male workers were put together in a group. Okay, and they were asked to work in a bank wiring kind of work environment. So here what happened is that the individual, okay, who tried to perform more, or who tried to produce more output, they were threatened and they were punished, they were made fun of, they were mocked by the other group members, because they had a fear that this would lead to unemployment, and also the management will demand for more work with less incentives. Okay, so all these kind of things happen, and also they were feared that their work will not be recognized like that. Okay, so what they found out during this experiment is that individual output were kind of restricted. Okay, they were not giving their best because of this group fear. Okay, and this group had their own kind of informal performance standards. Okay, like the quality was not that high. They had their own kind of standard which stands apart from the organization standard. Okay, and it's not that the productivity increased over the period of time. It was very constant, and informal groups, were formed during this experiment. Okay, so this is Hawthorne studies. I hope it is clear. Like I said, understand it as a story. It is very, very easy. That is why if I went very fast. So if you have any doubt, or if you need any clarification, please ask me in the description box, as well as you can DM me in the Instagram as well. So let's move on to the next topic, that is approaches to management. Now there are a lot of approaches to management. Okay, so but I've included only the main 3 approaches here. So based on these studies, various approaches have been formed, and first one is contingency theory. Now contingency means this theory actually believes that there is no one best way to do a task. Okay, that is, lot of situations can happen in an organization on a daily basis, and the manager or the management has to act accordingly. So whatever practices they are following, whatever things that the principles, rules and regulation that they are following, that totally depends on the circumstances, on the situation, and you have to give the best solution during that. Okay, so a very good example is, see, if you see nowadays means if you see during this lockdown period, okay, that was a total different and new concept to everybody in India, right? Lockdown, staggering, and social distancing and all that. So the leaders or the management in organization, of course they might have panic, but they have to come up the best solution, right? So then, workers were given the option to work from home so that people don't have to travel to work. So all these things were new, and it was introduced, and it had to be introduced very quickly. It's not that you have a lot of time to implement it. Okay, you're shutting down your organization. You have to immediately bring a solution for that. So that is what contingency approach suggests, that there is no one best way to find a solution. What this contingency theory suggests is that you have to analyze and you have to understand the situation, and you have to explore the various principles, various procedures, various rules that are available, and you have to take the right decision and then implement the decision. Okay, like I said, the best example is during lockdown. Okay, you have to understand your company policy. When employees are working from home, there will be a kind of security breach. So you have to check your company policy about that, and you have to take the best solution according to the situation, and then you have to implement that. Okay, they can work from that, but these were the restrictions in the maybe you can provide a laptop, or you can even ask to take them a system at home. Okay, so various solutions, the best solutions can be provided. That is contingency approach. Next one is system theory. Now, in system theory, it means that this suggests that organization as a whole is an enterprise. Whole thing is a system, and each department is a subsystem, and they all are interdependent and interrelated, and it is kind of a complex situation. That is what system approach means. It means that it's not an individual entity. Each department is not an individual entity. Everything has to work together to achieve organizational objectives. See, the best example that I found in internet for the system approach is our human body. Okay, even though our hands have different functions, our eyes have different function, our brain, digestive system, central nervous system, all these things have different functions, right? But everything is coordinated. If it is not coordinated, then it's not good, right? So everything is coordinated, everything is interdependent, okay, everything is interrelated. So same way applies to organization. Okay, suppose you are just a small example related to organization. You are launching a new product. It's not that marketing department is simply is launching a product. No, first you have to contact the research R&D department, research department. Okay, you have to find out what is the market research stage first. Then you have to find out from the finance department, about accounts department, about the budget. Okay, then you have to find out from the human resources for the best, if you need more training to be given, if you need more employees to be working for that project. Okay, then you will have to contact your customer relationship to find out the the distribution, the advertising and all that. So all these things are related, and it is all managed by the top management. Okay, so that is what systems approach means. It is a system as a whole, but there are subsystems, okay, which works independently, but all these are interrelated and interconnected. Now, based on this, there are like two types of system, that is closed system and open system. Closed system means there is no relation with the external, with the environment, that it does not change. There is no it does not change with the external environment. Okay, it is a closed system. Now, in open system, it actually changes with the dynamics of the external environment as well as the internal environment. That is open system. So in open system, you have, like for example, there are three steps: inputs, processing and output. Input means, the raw materials. Okay, raw materials include not only, the raw materials to produce a product. It means your human resources, your labor, your capital, and all the things. Now next is the transformational process. That means the technology you are using, the technique you are using, okay, the policies, procedures that you are using to convert this input into output. Output means your final product, okay? Your final product, the services that you're giving, your balance sheet, your financial profit and loss account statement, and the kind of employee behavior, the profits that you are making. So all these things will contribute to output. That is systems approach. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the last one, that is process theory. So in process theory, it means that management is an activity. Okay, that means from the beginning we have been saying that management is an art of getting things done. So that is what this process theory that suggests, that it is a process, it is an activity based theory approach, where things are getting done through various process and through the functions that we have, like planning, organizing, recruiting, staffing, leading, controlling. Okay, so basically it is a coordination between human beings and the materials that we have. So it is all, the whole management concept is a process approach. That is what this means, that whatever knowledge we have gained from all the various management policies, procedures, various management functions, its practical implementation has to be done. Okay. So I hope it is clear. So with this, basics of management and evolution of management is over. So I hope you understood. If you have any doubt in this topic, or if you want me to discuss any other topic, please let me know in the comment section below. You can also DM me in the Instagram. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more videos like this.